Hello everyone. Myself Taidepalli Lakshmi Anusha from Group 14 and our topic is Smart Irrigation System. In this section we would basically cover introduction, working of project and conclusion. So let's start. The Smart Irrigation System is an IoT based device. This is capable of automating irrigation process by analyzing the moisture of soil. As we know that agriculture in villages plays a very important role, which basically depends on water and the type of soil which is being used, and accordingly the water would be provided. If the soil moisture is appropriate, then water would not be provided. Else, according to the soil type, the water would be pumped. This is basically an on off technique. So, in order to implement this, we require some hardware and software requirements of IoT. The manual function of this project is if the soil moisture is less than the threshold value, then the water would be supplied. Else, if the threshold value is high, then automatically the water pump would be off. The components which we have used in this are Arduino UNO, soil moisture sensor, LCD, GSM, water pump, relay, 5-volt AC supply, and connecting wires. The most important, or we can say the feature of this project, are the security poles. The security poles are used in this in order to detect whether an unknown person has entered the field. Above the security poles, we have placed the sensor. This sensor would sense and automatically help to generate a message that the unknown person has entered the field. Now we would discuss each components one by one in detail. Now let's discuss the components. Here we can see that this is one of the most important component, which is Arduino UNO microcontroller. This is easy to handle and can be used conveniently. The code is also simple. The applications which involve are security and remote sensors. This microcontroller has the ability to be joined on internet and perform server. Next comes the GPRS GSM phone module. It is the miniature GSM module which is integrated into many projects. We can use this in any phone and we can send and receive SMSs, receive calls over the internet through GPS. Next comes the antenna. As we can see that the GSM module contains antenna which is present at the top. This is basically used for any kind of voice and data communication. There are basically two ways to add the antenna. This is basically a module which contains 12 pins, and this is used for network connectivity. Next comes the security poles, or we can say the rods. These are basically set apart where one is connected to the GPRS GSM modem and other to the microcontroller and sensor. And at the top we can see that there are sensors which are present, which are used to sense whether no other person has entered the field. If he or she entered the field, we would receive the message that the other person has entered the field. Next comes the breadboard. This is widely used tool to design and test the circuit. This makes us easier to mount the components and reuse them. On the top, we can see that there is a relay present. This is controllable power relay which is equipped with 4 output with the help of which project would be safe, reliable and power control. With the help of this, we can control the power going through the device and use this in any other microcontroller. The 4 features a single input to 4 outputs where one is normally in on condition and 2 other are in off condition. Next comes the soil moisture sensor. It is a simple sensor or the device which is used for measuring the moisture level of the soil. This is basically connected to the VCC and the GND pins of the Arduino board. The use of the sensor is basically used to measure the loss of moisture over time due to evaporation, evaluate the soil moisture contents for various species of plants, and next comes the LCD display. This is an electronic display module which uses liquid crystal to produce or display the actions, and this is basically inexpensive and is simply and easily programmable. Next comes the water pump. This is a 5-volt DC monitor. This is connected via relays to microcontroller. Basically, this would help to supply water as per the conditions and the instruction. This is an automatic on-off technique which would help to supply the water across. Next comes the connecting wires. These wires are basically used to combine the components.
Here we can see that we have taken a pot and jug inside which water and water pump are present. Inside the pot we can also see that we have placed the soil moisture sensor. Based on the type of soil, the water would be pumped in and out. Here, as soon as we remove the sensor, the water is being pumped inside, and when the sensor is kept again inside the soil, the sensor senses the presence of water and automatically the water would not be pumped inside. Now we would conclude. Hence, looking at the present scenario of increasing population, we need some technology which would be beneficial for the farmers, and this would give us a smart solution which must be applied. Hence, by using the smart irrigation system, we can reduce the cost as well as the wastage of water. According to the soil moisture, the water would be supplied at correct interval of time, and this can be done using our smartphones. We can check and operate with the smartphones. This basically prevent the problem of over irrigation and under irrigation of soil, and also would prevent crop damage. This would help in enhancing the water productivity as well as reduce the extra manpower effects, fertilizers, etc. Basically reduce human intervention in farming activities. It as a whole provides smart solution of water crisis as well as provide automated system through which one farmer can control large farm area located at different locations by using mobile and would fulfill his requirements. Thank you. This was all about it. Now we